Hello and welcome to my 7th live in the 14-day challenge. Not looking quite as glamorous as yesterday, I must say, after being dunked in a rain shower, dropping the kids off and then running back like some sort of crazy woman 3 seconds out from lunchtime with my daughter's lunchbox. Well, actually not even her lunchbox, just some lunch that I picked up from a cafe in replacement for the lunch that I forgot. So yes, mum goals today. Really feeling the pressure, I've got to say, and yeah, that's what I wanted to do this live about. I wanted to get a little bit more real. Hey, Ryan Johnson, I should totally have said being a mum or a dad in business. I've got something in my teeth. I want to get real about it because it's tough, right? Your business is being run around your family and the pressure is on. We're doing it to make money. We're doing it to get that freedom that will allow us to continue being parents, present parents, way after the kids go back to school. We're doing it for the financial reasons. We're doing it just for those soul goal reasons. You know, not all of us are made to be employed. And those of us who aren't, me, hello, it's important, right? It's seriously important. But if you're a stay-at-home mum or a stay-at-home dad and you're doing this around your children, hey Estelle, it gets tough and you can find yourself in this kind of state of mind where you're never off. You're constantly thinking, you're constantly planning, you're constantly trying to figure out how to make your business grow fast, blow up, hit those goals. And you can find yourself in this kind of place where you're questioning whether you're actually present at all. And I think the guilt of that can get really hard. So I wanted to talk about that, especially because we're coming up to the holidays here in New Zealand. There is, and again, actually, I don't know if it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks of holiday. And this is playing on my mind because since I got home from Florida, I've been going 100 miles an hour. I've really been going all in my business and I haven't been as present with my children as I really want to be, and I've been feeling that guilt. I posted a picture of them laying in bed with me last night, or in the bed next to me, while I was working. You know, I was working. As soon as they'd shut their eyes, I got back on my laptop and Estelle says she can't watch the video. Well, I'm hoping this is recording. There has been like a worldwide Facebook glitch. What was I saying? So yeah, so like, you know, I got this feeling of getting to that place where you're doing this to be more present with your children. And sometimes the line can get blurred. And sometimes you can get off track with what you're actually working for. You can get into this cycle of being on a hamster wheel and working constantly because in our heads, more work equals more money or more progress. But I've come to realize that that isn't necessarily the truth. And I've also built a tool that I use regularly. Like I will go to this tool really regularly to bring me back to center and to reevaluate where I'm going and what I'm doing and to get me off that hamster wheel. Because I'm realizing that thinking for me is kryptonite. You know, another big thing since coming home from Florida and taking part in this reality show is how I am seen, and I'm going to say seen in inverted commas. I like defined through, I guess, what I put out into Facebook world, the other school parents perhaps, and that is a mum who fights. And I found it quite confronting to know that that's how people see me, because what I realized in Florida is that there is so much more to me than that, and I have a really big mission. You know, I have a huge mission to empower women with freedom from the things that are holding them back. And the biggest thing that holds me back is up here. It's this thinking. It's this constantly like trying to figure my way through things instead of doing things that are actually going to take me forward. So I've been reevaluating a lot and doing a lot of self-discovery since I came home. And that is my first big tip for you coming towards these school holidays. If you're wanting to be able to just stop, turn the brain off, switch off, be present, not be present and have everything whirring in the background as to how things are going in your business, whether you've done your business tasks. I want you to have that confidence and peace of mind that it's in hand because you're in control, because you know where you're going and you know where you're starting, you know what needs to be done, and you've scheduled it into a time that fits around the children. Because when I get into my head, when I get into that overthinking mode, I know straight away it's because I've lost that peace of mind. I've lost that confidence that I am in control of myself. A big way that I do stay in control of myself is my victory hour in the morning, my 5 a.m. start. I find that if I start the day holding the rudder of my ship, doing my practices, my Wim Hof breathing, my meditation, my personal development that kind of are growing me, are nourishing me, then the rest of my day I stay in that mode instead of reactive. If I just wake up with the children and the first thing that happens is, you waved the disaster flag and you're running to, change nappies and get the dog off the seat and get breakfast, then I end up going through the day in that mode. So I know that starting my day is really important. How I start my day is really important. It's an anchor. One of my other anchors is having a routine, a schedule that is ever evolving with my business. So that is the tip that I wanted to give you today. I want to actually talk you through a tool that you can use right before the holidays start. We've got a few days before the holiday starts to look at where you're going and what you actually need to be doing and what you can get away with, like delaying and I guess even deleting, so that period of time through the school holidays, you can switch off and you can feel the fulfillment of what you're truly in this business to do. You have your own business because you're, oh, hi Kendra, thank you. Amber is the color of my energy and my zebra. Yeah, the holidays should be a time where you can switch off and feel what you do this for, which is your children. So I'm going to get into the tool. And hey, Melissa, the first thing that you have to do, the first thing that is going to, and I want you to put some time aside for this, is to spend an hour actually looking at the vision of where you're going, what you want, exactly what you want in your business and in your life. Because at the end of the day, your business is a vehicle to get the life that you want, doing the things that you want to do, impacting in the way that you want to make an impact. And sometimes when we're on that hamster wheel going 1,000 miles an hour, or if like me, you're being defined by kind of your armor, your roles. I am not just a fighter and a mum. I am so much more than that. But it has taken getting off the hamster wheel and stepping back and rediscovering those things and what I want. And so my first tip is to spend some time, sit down and look at who you want to become, what you want to do, what you're working for, what is the vision of your business, how is that the vehicle to the life that you want, and what does that life look like. And I encourage you to do it in a way that kind of describes out your ideal day. So from the minute that you wake up in the morning to the minute you go to bed, like what are you doing? Who are you hanging around with? Who are you impacting? Who's sending you text messages saying, thank you, you helped me today? Like, what does that day look like? And not just, the furnishings and the car and the house. It's like the stuff that you're doing and how you're feeling. I want you to be able to feel those feelings of your ideal day, like it's already happening in your life, because that is important to law of attraction. Ultimately, the energy of our vision, that those feelings that we will feel when we're having that life, when that ideal day has manifested, we need to be feeling them now. And need is a good word, because if we're feeling any sort of need, we're actually like going against those feelings, because need comes from scarcity, and scarcity attracts more scarcity. So from your inside out, it has to be about abundance. It has to be about feeling your vision like it's already on its way to you, like you're already there even, and feeling those feelings as if you were feeling them in your ideal day. And that requires a schedule. It requires having a daily rhythm that includes the anchors that keep you calm, present, centered, and focused. So it requires a little bit of time to free up some time. So the first thing in this process is that vision. What do you want? Why do you want it? And that's the grand vision. From there, you're going to set out some milestones. So I want you to look at the work backwards. Work backwards in whatever way that works for you, but one of those milestones has to be the next 30 days. And the second, another of the milestones has to be a year from now. Those are two really important milestones. The 30-day milestone is important because of these holidays. If you're not worried about the holidays, if this isn't something that is going to be useful to you, don't worry about the 30 days. But if the holidays are important to you, and spending time with your children and not being in that kind of million miles an hour work mode, unable to switch off, then you have to consider these 30 days. So that's the first two things: the vision, the milestones. Now, I want to show you my actual tool that I have. Now, I'm hoping that I can turn my camera around. Yes, I can. So, as you may know, I put together a month's worth of free coaching. So, I came back from Florida knowing that, let's close that one. Turn it back for a second. Yeah, I came back from Florida knowing that there's this... this brand, people seeing me very differently to who I truly am, and realizing that there are really huge chunks of me that I am repressing, and I understand now why I'm repressing them. And I've been easing myself into the vulnerability of being everything that I am, unfiltered, unscripted, including doing this 14-day Facebook challenge. And doing the free coaching along with a tribe of other people to really understand who we are underneath the armor, because we all have an armor. We all have a way to keep us safe from what we actually fear the most, the thing that makes us feel most vulnerable. And vulnerability is at the core of every fear, right? So this free coaching was a journey for me and for other people to do it together, to do it supported, to do it with encouragement and accountability, to discover the real, authentic person underneath the layers that fear puts on top, which just push our power down. And I experienced that in Florida. I experienced that that feeling of having more to give, but really not having any idea how to give it because of this armor that I've worn for so long. So turning the camera back round, here is the here's the free course, and as you can see, there was a whole nearly 30 days of content. So every single day you could spend some time just working on yourself completely for free. And it was to learn how to show up powerfully as your true authentic self, even when you feel unbearably visible. So this super cool tool is to help you with that time management. So once you've done that vision, once you've understood the milestones and you understand where you want to be specifically in a month's time, you can understand how to set a schedule for the next couple of weeks. So the first tool, there you go, I help you with setting that vision. You can put that there. Then you have a worksheet that helps you to identify what I call your buckets, because we all have like activities that we do on a day-to-day, right? We all have things that are important to us, roles that we have to do, obligations that we have that are important to us, but also the things like our wellness practice and our mindset practice. And then there's the kids and everything else, right? Like as parents, we have many, 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 many buckets of things to do. So I help you to name those buckets, and then I help you to identify what's in the buckets and to identify how much time you actually physically need for each bucket. So we then, once we've done that, we then get into the scheduling. And so you've got this beautiful schedule, and so going back, flicking back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. We've got to plug in. So yeah, so the idea is that we can be in control of our time if we know what we're working towards, why we want it, and that has to include being a mum. It has to include being a dad. It has to include these next 2 weeks of holidays so that we kind of like, I guess, succeed in our mission. Because our mission isn't just to be or to have the best business. Our mission is to have the best business to be a vehicle to enjoy time with our kids. So what I want to do is offer you up this tool. I want to make this tool available to you so that you can work through it with the worksheets and set up that schedule for the holidays so that you know that you're going to have time, you're setting the intention and you're making the plans, and you're really ultimately just putting in place the peace of mind that business is covered and you can be present. So if you would like that tool, then reach out to me by Messenger and I will connect it to you. And if you just want to have a conversation about the reality of being a mum in business, if you're finding it challenging, if you just want to speak to somebody who knows what you're going through, because I do, then also feel free to reach out to me on Messenger as well. Okay, hope you have a wonderful rest of day, not too wet if you're here in New Zealand, and bye-bye.